Olivia, you've got Tyrannosaur out now, getting tons of great reviews. It just won you the Best Actress Award at British Independent Awards, and the film won, and Patty won for debut director. What's all this like for you right now with all the acclaim for this movie?
It's amazing. The film means so much to all of us. So of all the jobs I've done, this is the one that I want people to love as well. And the fact that to have won best British independent film last night was the best feeling for all of us. It's great. It couldn't be better.
Well, talk about, if you don't mind, playing Hannah in this movie, a very wholesome character, but going through a ton of abuse. Talk about your preparation for playing her a little bit.
Well, most of the sort of groundwork for Hannah, Paddy had done. It was written. It was all on the page.
I don't have anybody.
It's okay. You can't stay here. You've no business with me.
We were wasted some.
I'm not a nice human being.
We were wasted.
I feel safe with you.
Nobody's safe with me.
On the ride, from the nightclub to our drive.
Will you help me, please?
All the way we sang.
But then I went to talk to women who work for a charity called Refuge, which is a charity. There are lots of charities here that I'm sure are the same in the States that help victims of domestic violence. And Refuge is one that I contacted, and they gave me two women who work for the charity to speak to, and they sort of they gave me the main thing that I took from it was they gave me a case study to read of one woman in particular that had a similar ending certainly to Hannah's story, and it was shocking, and I showed it to Paddy, and he said no one would believe that if we put it in a film. It was 100 times worse than anything that was on screen, and just I suppose that informs your performances in the back of your head that this does happen, and you've got to do it justice for women and men who experience this every day. I heard on the radio today that 1 in 5 deaths in London is death at the hands of a domestic aggressor. It's shocking. Yeah.
Well, beyond what you're hearing from critical reviewers and people in the industry, what do women that maybe have seen this film have to say to you about your performance?
There's only been, so far, there was a screening in LA, and one woman came up to me afterwards. Well, she was trying to ask a question, she couldn't, she was very overcome, and then afterwards she said she was a victim of domestic violence. She had been, and she now does work to raise money for awareness and things, but she just said, which was really touching, thank you for letting people know about this and for bringing it to people's attention, and thank you for giving these women a voice, which was, it was an incredible feeling that she felt it had been done sensitively and well. So yes, that was a pretty.
When you get to play a role like this, I'm sure it goes beyond just performance and just art, where you really can actually make an impact on people's lives.
Yes, I think you sort of forget that there are real people who will watch it who have a visceral reaction because they know exactly what it feels like, and it was a bit of a grounding moment as well to realise, oh yeah, for a while I'd forgotten that, and yes, I've got her card, and we're going to try and keep in touch.
Well, you're getting a lot of acclaim for your performance, but so is Peter Mullen. Talk about working with him on this particular film.
He was amazing and incredibly generous and hilarious. He has a 1,000 funny stories for every moment, and would keep us all in stitches. You'll be telling a hilarious joke and get everyone sort of clutching their sides and then go straight into a very serious scene. And he was just, it's Peter Mullen and Eddie Marsan, it made your job incredibly easy. You just had to watch and react to what they were doing. They're amazing. And I think Peter, I think he gives his best performance. I've seen everything he's done and he's beautiful in everything, but I think this was exceptional. And I think it's an honour to watch him.
Paddy is your director on this film, and he's also an actor. When you get to work with somebody that's also an actor that's now your director, what do they bring to you that maybe is different than another director might?
I don't think I've worked with any other directors who were actors. I didn't know that they had been. So I'm sure there are plenty of actor directors who are terrible. But Paddy, forgive me if I'm boring, because I think I said this before, but he, more than anything, makes you feel incredibly safe. So a lot of directors forget that, it can be embarrassing having to do some scenes or even there's a crew there, but you need to feel like everyone's with you and it's all right in order to do your job well. And Paddy allowed that to happen. And he also didn't restrict you by, look, we've already marked out where you've got to stand, and could you stand slightly like that so it's better for the lights, and could you, it was make it your own, go where you need to go and we'll follow you. So it was an amazing, a liberating experience. And he also didn't make you go over and over and over if it was a difficult scene. If he'd got it, then he'd say, okay, that's it, that's all I need, which was lovely.
I've heard that from other actors over the years. When you've got a really tough kind of a project, it's probably not best to do too many takes because it just takes it all out of you every time.
Yes, and it's a bit like lifting the lid off a pressure cooker. So a bit of steam comes out each time. So then by the time you're done, take 15, can't do it. No tears left. I can't remember if it feels natural anymore. Yeah, definitely not the way to go.
Well, you are most known, I would say, over the years for comedy, especially on BBC productions. What's it like for you making that, and I know you've done it all along the way, but specifically a transition between comedy and drama, what's the difference for you?
Well, as you say, 'cause I've done it along the way, and this is where I thought I would start. I didn't know I'd start in comic roles. So it's not necessarily a leap from one side of the fence to the other, because I'm still dipping my toe in both sides. Hopefully that would be the idea. But to have done it, I suppose, in this way, with this film, has surprised people. And but the nice thing is, the people who know me well aren't surprised. And Paddy wasn't surprised, which was lovely. And if this means I get to do more work like this, then that would be amazing.
So the ultimate goal will be to transition between the two seamlessly along the way.
Yeah, do a little bit of everything. That'd be great.
Well, you've got an abundance of riches going on right now. You've also got the Iron Lady coming out here in a couple of weeks. And Meryl Streep was honored last night here in Washington at the Kennedy Center Honors.
What did she get? I missed that.
The Kennedy Center Honors, it's a national, it's not for one performance, it's for her lifetime achievement. She got that last night. So while you were over at the British Independent, she was over in Washington doing that. But I guess you saw the Iron Lady finally here in the last couple of days. What was your reaction to that film? I've
just seen it this evening.
Today? Okay.
Just an hour before our call. But, I didn't know what to expect at all. I didn't know how it would all look together, because it was when we were filming it, it was sort of some from her imagination, I couldn't work it out. And she was amazing. She was mesmerising. And as her confidence builds and her power builds, you can really feel it. It's quite sort of awesome, and I thought it was a really good film, actually, and I was very pleased that it really showed all sides of the woman we know as Margaret Thatcher. I mean, you can't fail to be impressed that a woman, at that time became pretty much the most powerful person in the world, and as a woman, that was extraordinary, against all the odds and against a sea of men saying it wouldn't happen. So that aside, I would be impressed by that. But also for all the bad side, was shown, the riots, the unrest, I'm very pleased that was all in there.
So it covers all the angles of her life, of her political life.
Yes, it really does. And it is an extraordinary, it's a tour de force, Meryl's performance. It's beautiful.
Well, you're talking potentially about your competition here. It's very possible that you could be, say, up at the Oscars or Golden Globes or SAG Awards for Tyrannosaur against Meryl and the Iron Lady. I mean, what would that be like?
I'm not sure that is possible.
Well, I think a lot of people are saying it might be.
Well, I don't know. I think that would be too weird, too surreal to stand next to Meryl Streep and be in competition.
Do you like coming over to America for, like you said, you came over for a screening. Do you like coming over for those kind of events? And what would it be like for you, say, to be on the red carpet for potentially some of these awards events?
Oh, I don't know. I usually try and wait till the red carpet bit's finished and then sneak in the side. I find them embarrassing. I'm not terribly good at standing for a photograph. I get a bit limb conscious and I've got great big gums. I find it all a little embarrassing. And I've only been to LA once. That was a few weeks ago. So it's the first time I've been for a work-related thing. We've been to visit friends in New York before, but I've been to Sundance, but I've never been to LA for a worky thing before. It was lovely, actually.
Well, if this all pans out like some people are hoping and predicting, you may have to get you an extended stay hotel over here and be here for a few weeks and be on this whole awards circuit.
Maybe I'll have to do some severe standing still training.
That's right. Well, listen, a lot of people are loving your performance and loving this film, and we wish you all the best as more and more people get to see it here over the next few months.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, and tell people to go and see it, because we're very proud of it. Thank you.
Thank you.